Hello, 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 and welcome back for another special edition of Jack Knows Best. Of course, if you know the game, you know that I'm your host at Javanaugh87, Jack Kavanaugh, back once again to dominate a best ball draft over on Underdog Fantasy. My special guest, Dave Fiorella, the boss over at the PFF Fantasy Football League, wants to see if he knows better than Jack. And welcome to a very special Dave Fiorella, all dressed up. He's got the background, he's got the suit, he's got the tie. He's got
we already established
there was a miscommunication. Yeah, I thought I was hosting today. I mean,
oh no,
clearly,
what a mix-up.
We said last year that it's now Dave Fiorella knows best. So,
yes.
I mean,
so
he came prepared.
I'm dressed to the nines. I unfortunately don't own any bow ties, so we got to just settle with
closest you could get.
Yeah.
It is still
but I don't have the best
tie.
mustache in the business either, but we're going to make do tonight.
Well, I mean, neither do I. Tom Selleck has the best mustache in the business,
well,
but
it's a different business, though. I mean,
it's all showbiz, baby.
Okay,
actually, no, I am officially banned from using the term "baby" on important nonsense after what I did to the Bears.
You did,
but for those of you at home who haven't played before, we will be drafting over on Underdog Fantasy, and I believe it is time to enter the lobby. $3, 12-person fast draft over on Underdog Fantasy. And when you're over there, make sure you use promo code nonsense when you sign up for a what's the promo code? Is it double your welcome bonus, Steve?
Yeah, they will match your deposit up to $100.
There we go. Match your deposit up to $100. And when you're already on the interwebs, you may as well head on over to shop.importantnonsense.com. You can get the Jack shirt, which I know Dave has invested in. He wants to wear me around.
Yeah. I get lots of looks too.
I love it. I am so happy to hear that. And there's a bunch of other merchandise that you can get, including Abolish the Tight End and so on and so forth. So, Dave, tell us what you've been up to. How is the stat book going? I look forward to hearing about it while I go let my cat go for a walk real quick.
Yeah. No, we've had a real great time doing it this season. Steve has helped out a lot on fixing a lot of issues. We got some of the little tiny things ironed out that weren't quite 100% last year. We just got done with the Scott Fishbowl season. I think most drafts are about wrapped up at this point, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and that was a pretty good success, I think, out of the stat book as well, getting that version up there.
There it is, freshly updated today because I updated it with the Browns projection update. So there you go.
Yes, indeed.
And
I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead now.
I was just going to brag about the stat book for a little bit because it really helped me when I was running my Scott Fishbowl draft. And it made me feel pretty good about my team because I was projected the most in my division. And I believe Steve was as well.
Always.
Yeah, I did not end up that way in my draft.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Dave.
It did not go anywhere near as planned, but that's all right. I had a lot of fun anyways.
What were you picking from and what did you start with?
I picked from 6. That's my go-to spot. I mean, I started QB and I'm in the Philly division and there's like 10 analysts in that division. So it was just a nightmare left and right. I think everyone got pretty hit hard on that.
Philadelphia is a pretty big fantasy football town from what I've heard.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm not surprised at all to hear that. Very unfortunate.
We entering real quick. We're entering this one, right? The 312?
Yeah. We're waiting on 4 more people.
Cool.
3 more people. So if anyone watching at home,
pretty
hop in quick.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say it was pretty brutal as far as how things played out. I mean, there was lots of sniping back and forth, and I would be surprised if anyone was truly happy in that division with how their draft turned out.
Yeah, yes. It's that's the thing with the Scott Fish Bowl is even when you're excited about your team, you could be completely wrong because of how tight
Yeah.
ends and kickers and the
looks
quarterback
ready to go.
accuracy rating. And
Oh, and I'm number 1. So here comes tight end.
No, don't do
we
that.
are live here.
Got 1, Jack, you've got 3, Dave, you've got 6. So we are spaced out a little bit here.
Still, well, you guys are spaced out. I'm in the middle of you two sniping B words.
Running back, running back, running back, running back.
Let's go tight end.
Wide
Ooh.
receiver. Yikes.
Ooh, you're gonna look like a
Figures.
fool,
Figures.
and I'm gonna look like a fool. Dave actually is probably gonna look pretty good picking at the 6.
There's going to be great running back value in this first round for everyone else.
Who do I want to give to Jack? That's the question.
Yeah.
So, is there?
I'll go.
I don't have to
I'll
decide.
stick with Coop.
I was gonna
He's
say,
my
is there a
boy.
significant difference between the top 3 receivers for you,
Not really.
Dave?
I mean, I like, honestly, Jefferson is 1, but I think it's pretty minimal between and 3.
To
That-
me, it's Cup and Jefferson in a tier, and then
Yeah.
it's like 5 guys. So I'm good either way. But this will literally be the only time I get Cooper Cup this whole summer. So I'll take
I
it.
almost feel like everyone is so high on him and they're expecting a repeat, but like he had a historic season last year.
Yeah.
It's going to come down some. You know, he
Has
may
to,
still end
yeah.
up as the number 1, but it's going to come down. And I'm almost more willing to take a chance on Jefferson, which I imagine is what Jack gets here.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer
No,
here.
he,
As
there's no
much
way
as
he
I
falls that
love,
far.
as
yeah.
much as I love Jamar Chase and think that he is going to be a better receiver long term than Justin Jefferson, the Vikings are just going to pass so much this year, whereas the Bengals are going to be a little bit more run heavy behind this improved offensive line. Chase has to deal with T. Higgins, whereas Justin Jefferson
And Boyd.
and Boyd
Everyone's
to a lesser
forgetting Boyd,
extent.
yeah.
Well, I thought Steve would yell at me for bringing up Boyd. Steve
forgot Boyd a
Bonham
long
is a
time ago.
known Tyler Boyd hater.
Oh, no. I thought this was going to be like a no-brainer, easy pick.
Oh, wow. Somebody took Chase at
Someone took
5.
Chase out
I
from
think
me.
it still is.
Oh, my God.
I think it's still a pretty easy slam dunk pick here.
You know what? I'm going to go Adams. I don't know if that's where you're at.
Oh,
I'm going to go with that storyline. You know, he's got Carr. I think there could be something there. There's not a lot else other than Renfro. I mean, I think Waller's fallen off a ledge.
oh, well, that would be very unfortunate for my Scott Fish Bowl team.
I just don't have faith. Maybe it's because, you know, even, you know, back when he was on the Ravens and it's like, I still,
Running
when he was
back.
good, I didn't have
That
faith.
was a hair away from tight end, too. Like, it was that close.
We're okay, though. We got saved.
We're all right. I'll take running back in the second round. That's fine.
It's good. It's good. We're doing fine. The wheel hasn't hurt us too much yet. We're gonna do great.
You and I were talking about the Scott Fish Bowl stat book, and how it wasn't populating like the kickers, even though they were the highest projected, just because general philosophy. I'm trying to avoid kicker if I can. So it got to a point where I had no kickers in the like 15th or 16th round, but nobody else was taking a kicker either. Wow. So I ended up with 2 kickers because I got 2 of my top 5.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I think our first went somewhere around 10, 11.
Yeah. For me, like, I was trying to avoid them altogether. I've been saying all offseason, even with the scoring, avoid altogether unless you get an elite one. Because you can pick them up off waivers for nothing. Because a lot of them weren't going drafted anyway.
You know what? That was what I thought too, but I felt like my division was pretty heavy. And actually, one of the people in my division posted something where it was like we were in the top percentage for divisions picking kickers in the draft. So like all of a sudden my strategy of grab kickers for waivers like went out the window. Yeah. I was like, oh, this is not going anywhere near as planned, but
right.
Kickers are going to be massive during the bye weeks. That's when they're really going to take their form, because
that was my thought as well. Like, because you can put them in the flex unless you're on sleeper when you have to play one every single week.
Yeah. At which point, it is also important to draft a kicker if you are on
Right.
sleeper, because you need an elite one
You
in the
have to have
Scott
one.
Fishbowl. And when you think about it, a lot of the late round running backs, the late round receivers, the late round tight ends, even in the premium, they're going to get outscored by kickers on the season in the Scott Fishbowl quite aggressively.
They're the only position that doesn't take a negative.
I mean, that's kind of why I wanted to just load up on him, but the opportunity never came my way.
Yeah, I ended up getting two. I got Daniel Carlson, who he's one of my top kickers. After it's Justin Tucker, then it's a smaller tier of everyone else. Unfortunately, couldn't get Jay Tuck, but I will be getting a prime running back here. Who am I? Javonte Williams goes to Dave.
Yeah, quick grab for me. Love it. I know he's going to lose to Chubb, but you know what? If I'm going Adams first round, I'm going to get my guys in this one. I'm going to go for Javonte.
Well, I know I'm not going to get my guy because Jack's in front of me.
Who's your guy?
Yes, tell him so you can make that pick.
I don't know. Maybe do I gamble on Kamara?
Oh, well, I don't know if you saw the news today, but his court date has been pushed back again.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering if I gamble because now he may not even have anything happen to him this season.
Yeah, I kind of feel like at this rate, it's going to be next season.
Almost certainly going to be next season because when he goes to that court date, he's going to plead not guilty, and then they're going to book him for another court date in the future. Mm-hmm. And the way the legal system works, there's no chance that it comes this year.
You went Kamara, wow.
Which is why I went Alvin Kamara.
All right, well, I get my guy anyway. I will take Uncle Len, and I will roll it. Big fat Lenny.
Yeah.
I mean, he's so huge. Like, what is he now? Like 3 pounds over where he was last season?
I was going to say 10 maybe, yep.
He
right,
says
running
he's
back,
10 right
wide
now.
receiver.
He says he's 10 pounds from where he wants to be, but he's already lost about 15
Well, that's what he
pounds.
said before, but he's down to like 240 right now.
Yeah, and he says he wants to be about 230, 228 is the aim.
You know what? I'm going to follow this up. We can go running back, wide receiver. I like what I've got with Fournette.
Who's he taking?
I don't know. I'm on the edge of my seat here.
I know.
I'm going to go with Higgins.
That's not at all what I thought you were going to do.
We just had pretty sure if I'm following correctly, yes, our 32 and 32 on the Bengals just came out the other day.
It did.
And we talked about the fact that there's a non-zero chance that T. Higgins is actually the wide receiver one on the Bengals.
Yeah, and when you look at how they performed last year, they never went off in the same week.
Right.
It was always one or the other. So,
well, yeah, the stats we pulled too, when they played in the same games and Higgins was healthy, so like that last chunk of the season, Higgins was like PPR wide receiver 13 and Chase was wide receiver 14. Like they were right on top of each other in terms of points over that time frame. It's just one of them always blew up in 1 week or the other, and they just kept taking turns doing it. So to me, Higgins gives you just as much upside as Chase, but you can get it 2 rounds later.
And speaking of upside, I went with Tyreek Hill over Keenan Allen, AJ Brown, Michael Pittman, Mike Williams, and DJ Moore, who's a weird group to be together, it seems. If you think about to years past, at least.
Oh, wow, Michael Pittman.
Yeah.
You
know what? It's my first share like all season. I think that even with the Campbell news and everyone, all the talk so far is about, Paris Campbell's the guy now, but
that's always the talk in the offseason until week 2 when he's not playing anymore.
Like somebody's got to be there catching it.
It's easy to look great in pads or without pads when you're 6'1" and run a 4.3.
They all look great in shorts.
Not all of them.
Regret.
Okay, well, most of them.
There's a couple.
And now, yes, I'm also thinking maybe I should have gone Travis Etienne.
Yeah, exactly. Instant regret.
Now I'm not going to get another running back for a while. The wheel is going to punish me.
I think we'll survive without the running backs there.
We'll see.
Speaking of the running backs going in that area, James Conner is just going too damn high, in my opinion. I am not comfortable with round 4, James Conner.
Yeah, I'm not.
Round 3 here.
Did he? Oh, he
3-7.
did. Yeah, never mind. I'm very so 4.
So you're very uncomfortable with round 3, James Conner.
Yeah.
If you hate round 4, James Conner.
Yeah. Last year he caught passes for the first time in his career when Chase Edmonds was hurt. And so they drafted Keontae Ingram, who catches passes. They signed Darrell Williams, who catches passes. And they bring back Eno Benjamin, who is the love child of Cliff Kingsbury, apparently, the way he talks about him every preseason and doesn't play.
Use him.
It's the only explanation for him still having a job. I mean,
yeah. So, I mean, I've ended up grabbing a lot of Williams like really, really late because he's basically free, and you figure he's probably in for at least a couple of vulture touchdowns.
Easily, especially in best ball.
Right?
Yeah, it's like he's free. It's him and Tannehill are two guys like later than you usually would, that I'm more than happy to target down.
And I say especially in a best ball because guys like Darrell Williams, when James Conner gets hurt, you're not auto smashing them into your lineup. Depending on your roster configuration, you might still sit them because you're nervous. Best ball, it doesn't matter. So I love players like Darrell Williams who will still be in an ambiguous backfield even with an injury because I don't have to decide to start them this week.
All right, what are you thinking here, Dave? You're up in 2 picks, wide receiver.
Well, I was thinking Hollywood. That's out of there. Of course.
That was the money pick.
These are not great options. I mean, Davis is getting so much hype. I really kind of try and stay away where I can. Wentz, I don't love either. So I guess I'm going Waddle here. I mean, Hill is in there, but it might free up Waddle to make a couple of more plays. I think he was pretty fantastic last year.
I wouldn't worry too much about Jalen Waddle. One of the things that people like to highlight about Kyle Shanahan is run, run, run. All he does is run. Yeah. That's not necessarily true.
I mean, they've built that stockade of running backs. I mean, they have the opportunity to just go nuts.
Yeah. I figured there's no way he'd get past Jack, but still.
Yeah, Deontay was coming to me. Now I hate this slot here.
See, Pittsburgh Steelers receivers, I am not touching basically any of them. I can't.
I like Deontay because he's going to get fed. I don't love Jerry Jeudy and Gabriel Davis. Doesn't matter by who. He's 140 targets. 140 targets. Sorry,
you're going to have Mitchell Trubisky or Mason Rudolph pulling it in.
We have done so many of these. I have literally 0% Rashad Bateman. You have all sniped me all summer. I am outraged. I thought this might be the one time. Thought it'd be the one time I had a shot at it.
Nope.
Who am I supposed to take, Steve?
All right, I'm taking Darnell Mooney because I got a lot of Darnell Mooney. So I'll just.
Are you guys kind of on the same page there as far as Gabe Davis hype goes? I mean,
oh yeah, I'm not super interested.
All right.
He's fine. I don't hate him. I just don't prefer him, and I think he'll be
okay, but not for his.
Not for the 4th round when I can get
price right now.
When I can,
what? Oh, look at that! I will take the Bears stack, and I will get David Montgomery, and I will just basically draft my Scott Fishbowl team here on Underdog, and that's fine.
Is that going to include Fields?
We'll see how the wheel plays
out. How desperate we get, right? Yeah.
Right.
Well, I am going to follow in Steve's mold and go with a Raven stack, J.K. Dobbins, who really could be a league winner in the 5th round.
Possibly. I mean, he's going to start. They got to do something with that offense. I mean, Bateman and Andrews can only do so much.
And the Ravens love to run the ball when healthy. They've invested heavily in the offensive line. It's going to be a good year for J.K. Dobbins, who apparently was fighting with John Harbaugh the other day in practice because he wants to be off the pup so bad.
I don't know. It's such a big question mark to me. Like, as a Ravens fan, I get real nervous about that run game. And I will join you guys, and I will pair with Adams. How about that?
There you go.
We'll keep it going.
Lots of stacking.
Yeah, guys. Why won't somebody
we'll stay on theme here?
Let Steve get Rashad Bateman.
I know, right?
Mike Manning feels for you, Steve.
I know. He does.
He's just an empathetic, caring young man. We all love Mike Manning.
He's so genuine.
He is. He is just, good guy. Good guy to have around. Unlike Dave, who is definitely going to snipe me coming up here. When he takes a wide receiver.
This is not pretty. I'm curious to see if Gabe Davis will still be there by the time it loops back.
At that point, I'd love Gabe Davis.
Can't be, right? There's no way.
He can't be, but he's still there. He's still dropping.
Yeah, but you're talking about like a full round at this point.
I know, but look, crazier things have happened. Guy can be hopeful.
You can always be hopeful in fantasy football. That's why we play it. We all know we're terrible at it when it comes down to it. But you can have hope no matter what.
Well, that's what's great about DFS and best ball. Just draft 1 million teams. Yeah. One of them is bound to be good, right? And then you're a genius.
I really think I want to start converting every league I'm in to best ball because it just makes life
so
much easier.
Set it and forget it. Yeah.
You don't even have to set it. You just forget it.
Like especially
when you set it in the draft, but otherwise, yeah.
So how is Dave going to hurt my feelings now?
Which wide looking at Davis? Keep going.
This is really the sweet spot of wide receivers here.
Yeah, I actually like a lot of options here.
It's a talented group from Chris Godwin, who is going to be a points per game monster, even if he misses early season. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Amari Cooper, wide receiver ones on their team. Same with Elijah Moore, too, who is getting a lot of hype out of Jets camp. I'm really excited for him in a bulked up second season.
Wow. Does that seem like early Lazard? Yeah.
Wow. I think I must be a Packers fan.
Yep. That's the only explanation. There is no other way that makes sense.
Oh, there he goes. How close was I? It was like 5 picks off.
Gabe Davis, 6th round, though. He's starting to slip with this Isaiah McKenzie hype, which Steve hates.
I don't hate. I just don't believe it.
Believe it. It's every day. The drumbeat continues to build while Jamison Crowder sits out of practice.
He can drink all the blue he wants as long as he suits up on Sundays. He's got that job over McKenzie 10 times out of 9.
It sounds like the Buffalo Bills coaching staff would disagree with you. And that is going to be a job that matters. Because what happens if Gabe Davis is bad and it is the slot receiver that actually matters? There's a reality that happens.
I think it's the slot receiver that matters in that offense anyway.
Ooh.
I think Gabe Davis will be fine. I think he'll be a high-end wide receiver 3. But I think even with that, the slot receiver will still be a weekly flex option. It's just who is it? And I still think it's Jamison Crowder. More proven, more talent. He's only 2 years older. People think he's ancient. And McKenzie's some young hot thing. And it's because they don't follow it and realize he's been in the league for 5 years and been terrible.
Except for that game he started last year.
For one game that everybody wants to bring up every time.
So Dave taking Elijah Moore, who I was hyping. I'm going to need Steve to allow me to continue my drafting. That's okay. It just came up. You're fine. Who am I going with the double stack RB wide receiver stack here?
Depends.
Or am I going to go with?
Am I going to go with Thielen?
That's
go double Vikings wide receiver.
Yeah,
you probably got good odds at Kirk, right?
Yeah, Kirk Cousins, middle fingers to the world.
And it has been confirmed that Kirk Cousins versus Mike Zimmer last season, that little spat they had, that was legit, which we all knew, but now it's confirmed it was legit.
Thomas was my fallback here. Interesting. What do I have? Kupp, Higgins, Mooney. I actually really like my wide receiver room.
Do you need to spin while he's making that pick?
Well, I'm the spinner, so I'll take Devonta Smith. Why not?
Please, no more running or wide receivers.
Just some youth.
Oh, it was so close.
Running back.
The running back.
Miles Sanders. I'll take Tony
RB2
Pollard.
territory.
I'll take that, no problem.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire is looking like he's on the downward swing in Kansas City.
Yes.
Isaiah Pacheco, was he a 5th, 6th, or 7th round back? Doesn't matter. He's getting first team reps already for Kansas City. While Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's back, but he missed some practice. And even when you see practice videos, Patrick Mahomes is doing the stupid behind the back thing. Not like Clyde Edwards-Helaire could use those practice reps. Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, what are you doing?
They're just having fun.
They are.
They don't care that CEH's career is on the line because theirs isn't.
What happens when CEH, he's not going to get cut because he's a first round pick, but
no.
Based on pure talent, would anyone be surprised if he was the odd man out? And he's worse than Isaiah Pacheco, he's worse than Ronald Jones, and he's worse than Jerick McKinnon.
Not at all.
Damian
we just
Harris
recorded our Kansas City show a couple days ago. Give you a sneak preview. I am, for the first time ever in my life, higher on Ronald Jones than the general public.
Wow.
Never happened before.
Wow. Yeah.
Remember last year when he and Leonard Fournette were interchangeable in terms of ADP?
Right. Those were the days.
So, Dave, Damian Harris, you're not believing the Ramondre Stevenson hype.
I am not. I mean, I think it's probably still going to be a pretty good committee, but I really like Harris there. I think that they're going to have a lot of opportunity to run. I think Mac's probably going to take a step forward, but it still feels like a pretty run-forward team in my mind. I think he's getting kind of overlooked. I really like him around this area.
And part of the reason he's being overlooked is because of one tweet from one reporter that said, Ramondre Stevenson's with the first team. Except it was a drill. It wasn't a live scrimmage. And other than that one drill, not a practice or not a scrimmage.
Oh, God.
He keeps flirting with quarterback.
I know.
It's just not.
Yeah, and I have a lot of Stevenson on my dynasty teams, so I'm more than happy to see him be successful, but I just think Harris is getting too overlooked. I think he's still probably a solid one in that offense.
And the best part, when you look at the reports of the starting lineup and the depth, J.J. Taylor is the running back 3 right now. So are we scared of J.J. Taylor?
No.
Thank you.
And I still don't understand, where does James White fit in there? He's still there.
He's not practicing, and he's
still not practicing?
No, he's still on the PUP with his hip. And let's be honest, James White is probably not going to play again.
Which is crazy. He was solid before he went down. He was definitely a starting option every week. And then he's just gone now. It's just, that's it.
So, Jack, I've got one for you.
All right.
Couple picks ago, Treylon Burks goes at 8-1. So is mini camp asthma this season's the ball is a different shape and spiral sizes?
Different colors,
Yeah.
It is.
Different stripes on the ball.
It especially is because remember once we got to actual training camp, there was no issue with Chase catching the ball.
Yeah.
It was all
said his conditioning is fantastic and he looks great.
Yeah. Exact same thing with Treylon Burks. And that's why I like to highlight the red flags, just because we have to be able to say, hey, these are things that are happening. Do they matter? Probably not, but they're red flags. And then it's always beautiful when we get to training camp. And I don't know if you saw the clip of him just destroying a defensive back with his feet.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
The guy is so good that if you look closely, before he catches the ball, he wipes his hands on his shorts and then catches the ball. That's how smooth he is.
He's that locked in.
He's that talented. The man just knows how good he is, and Treylon Burks is rising back up there with the rest of the wide receivers in this rookie class.
So, Dave, you went with Chris Olave.
Yeah.
Feeling all right about that?
No, it was kind of a panic move as timer's running out there. I'm like trying to decide. I don't hate him. I think Winston has the arm. I'm not sure where Michael Thomas is going to come in, and maybe it's a little buyer's remorse from Dynasty because I didn't get any shares in any of my rookie drafts, so I've been trying to kind of pick him up late where I can. I don't know. So you're sitting there watching the timer go, and I'm like, damn, I can't decide. Well, fine, Olave. That's it.
I still like Chris Olave this year. I'm not worried about him. I think Michael Thomas coming back really hurts Jarvis Landry. I think it's Michael Thomas and Chris Olave, and then Landry's the clear third option in that offense at this point.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
And I take Russell Gage because I'm not worried about Julio Jones. Everyone's freaking out about Julio Jones. And you know what? Russell Gage is making at least $24 million more than Julio. He's making at most $22 million more than Julio Jones.
I'll take Claypool and hate it.
Yeah, see? I feel like that's where we are with wide receivers right now.
Wide receiver again, fantastic. Just great. Just bleeping great.
We're going to have to use our super flex on a quarterback at this point. I know there's still some good options here.
I would consider Boyd, but I've already got Higgins. I don't really want that. I will take old reliable and get Robert Woods in Tennessee.
I thought about taking Woods. It was him or Gage for me.
Well, really, it was, do I want Drew Lock / Geno Smith's deep threat, or do I want Mitchell Trubisky's deep threat? I mean, that's really where I was on the board. And it makes me want to throw up, but I'd rather take Trubisky's as long as he's running on the right side of the field and not the left side of the field because he can't throw to his left.
Which Tyler am I going to take? I'm going to take Lockett. Yeah. Lockett apparently has been balling out in camp. No one can cover him, which makes sense because he's really freaking good.
Well, I was going to say makes sense because he's just going up against Seattle's secondary.
Also that.
Yeah, I did see that what Locke was getting those first team snaps today. Was that, Geno's kind of already on his way out
rotating, there. I think.
No, it's been Geno the entire time. He's been getting all the first team reps until I think today Locke started getting a little bit of it. They've probably seen enough.
To me, this is an easy Boyd. Like, he is a favorite late target for me because best ball, when you had him in redraft, like, you can't ever start him, but he still had a couple of monster games. So I love taking him here in best balls because you don't have to figure it out.
Tight end before quarterback. Okay. Still some.
Well, we're going 0 QB in this one.
Yep.
And there's two options left at quarterback or at tight end. I mean.
So you're saying I'm screwed, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, two of us could be screwed if someone else takes a tight end.
Oh, that's
Steve's definitely screwed. Now I'm screwed as well because Dawson Knox is one of the two. So Dave's taking Dallas Goedert, and
see, that was the other one. So when we talked in the Bills show, because we've been talking a lot about Gabe Davis, like everybody wants to talk about Gabe Davis. Maybe the hype is too high on Gabe Davis. I think the hype's too high on Dawson Knox. I think he has a better chance of being Robert Tonyan the year after he had all the touchdowns, as opposed to breaking out and being a top 5 to top 10 tight end again.
I can get behind that. I do like Dawson Knox, but at the same time, OJ Howard is going to steal some of his targets, some of his touches. I think
the volume still goes to the slot, like we were talking about.
And I know people will say OJ Howard.
We're all screwed.
OJ Howard doesn't matter at all. Oh, Goddard's gone. Perfect. OJ Howard doesn't matter. He's been a bust. It still matters because they're still going to be dialing up plays for OJ
He's
Howard.
still going to get snaps. He's still going to take away playing time from Dawson Knox. Whether he's good or not during that time doesn't matter. He's still going to be on the field.
He's also going to take snaps away from either the slot receiver or Gabriel Davis, because the Bills are going to run more 2 tight end sets than they ever have. They barely ran it at all last year because they had no one. So even just a slight increase from the minimal they were doing right now, that's enough that it's going to take some away from either the projected Gabriel Davis to the moon or the slot receiver will be on the field less. Great for real football. Great for the Buffalo Bills. Oh, and who is left? Do I just go full in on the Minnesota Vikings and hope that Kirk? Oh, well, I'm probably not even going to get Kirk now.
But see, I was sitting here thinking, do I just go full Bears? Do I just take Cole Kmet and just complete the set? Get my Thanos glove out and just...
Yeah, I'm going to leave it open for you guys. I mean...
Oh, Pat Freiermuth. Mr. Never topped 58 yards in a game. Pat Freiermuth.
My thought is that maybe there'll still be some dump offs. I mean, honestly, at tight end, I really prefer really late options versus like where we are now. You know, I'm more than happy to go like 3 tight end and a best ball and pound these later options. Like, I mean, you got Hurst and Higbee go super late. I think those are guys with some pretty high upside.
Even Gesicki is going real late here. Well, looks like I'm going to do it. I'm going to bite the bullet and go full Vikings here and hope that quarterback is up next.
So there goes Julio. I was wondering how high he would move up.
Well, I think Gesicki's been dropping because, I mean, that talk recently that he's been doing a lot of blocking in camp. I mean, which I can see. If they want to go run forward, why not throw him in there to block?
QB final.
Yes.
Come on, let me do it. Come on.
Don't snipe.
Yes.
Don't snipe.
He's there. The full set is complete.
Oh, thank goodness.
This is embarrassing.
I have done it.
If I get sniped,
Jackson have the option at Kirk.
If I get sniped on Kirk Cousins,
Week 14, my team is gonna suck, and it's the Bears, so there's a strong chance it's gonna suck.
Might do it anyways. Yeah.
But Kirk Cousins complete the set. We got Kirk.
Come on.
You like that?
I was so close to getting Carr there.
Right. You were 2 picks away from having the Derek Carr set. We almost had all the stacks.
All 3 of us with the sets, yeah. Oh, God.
At least
blew it for us.
At least you got sniped by someone who has Hunter Renfrow, so you didn't get sniped by a naked Derek Carr.
Being sniped by a naked
Still doesn't feel good.
Is the worst.
That doesn't make me feel any better.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
Stack. At least you get the Jalen Waddle stack.
Yeah, that's my only hope there.
It's a little bit better.
Here comes another QB.
It's not.
Wait for it.
If that was Carr, then I would actually finally feel good about this team so far.
Called it.
No.
Again.
Of course. We get no quarterbacks, and then we get 2 back-to-back.
Double it.
Who is going to be left? I'm surprised that Deshaun Watson is still available because I've heard he's been going in round 10.
I didn't even notice.
I've heard he's been going in round 10. Well, we got too excited about our stacks, but Deshaun Watson, he's moved up draft boards quite a bit. I'm not comfortable taking him because I like
morally,
to have fun.
I understand it.
Well, and I like to have fun with fantasy football, and it's not fun for me rooting for Deshaun Watson. I understand people will be drafting him. Just, it's not fun for me, and I don't like to do things I don't think are fun, like work. So up next, quarterbacks. It's a quick
still got
drop
stack
off.
Options.
Yeah.
So Winston and Ryan both sitting there right now at the top of the ADP.
So let's see. Stafford is gone. Burrow's long gone. I finished my stack there. Hurts is obviously gone. Oh, I could get Trubisky. If they get that stack with Chase Claypool.
A little bit early for that. But
are you sure?
Bears nostalgia stack.
I could do the same thing. And
it's early on Ryan Tannehill. I think I could get Tannehill or Trubisky with my super flex in the last round. I think. I mean, that should be okay if I waited that long.
So I say Tannehill's been free, and I think it kind of blows my mind because I understand that his options aren't great, but he's still been pretty solid starter.
Yeah.
He's Phillip Rivers, isn't he, Steve?
Oh, yeah. Every year.
Everyone hated Phillip Rivers. They wrote him off.
He's always going to be ranked around 18 or 19, and he's always going to finish around 12 to 15 consistently every year. And nobody wants it. And I would rather punt on QB and take my QB in the 14th round and be guaranteed to have a back-end starting quarterback and have a load of talent at everything else than waste an early pick on a QB.
Well, it's like Cousins. Cousins is going way higher this year, but he's a guy that I've been grabbing every single year because he's always drafted as a QB2, but manages top 12.
It was the same thing with Carr before this year, too.
Yeah.
You have one good season, and all of a sudden, everybody knows who you are.
Well, I always say, like, everyone expects Justin Jefferson to do good. And if you expect Jefferson to do good, then Kirk has to do good.
Right.
So, I mean, last year when they were talking, Jefferson could be, a monster. Obviously, you got to go Kirk because he can still have that season. Somebody's got to throw the ball to Jefferson. He's not just, picking it out of the air.
And with the next pick, Dave.
Homer, that feels early.
No, well, it used to be early, but no. Josh Palmer, the report came out that Josh Palmer is the clear-cut wide receiver 3, and there were many that called it, his ADP is just going to skyrocket from now on. You cannot get him in the 15th round anymore. It's impossible. It's gone.
Yeah, I think that's an easy Winston because even if I'm wrong on Olive, I can still capitalize on that pass game.
Got the stack. I like it.
It doesn't look like I'm going to be stacking here because I am not going to be taking Geno Smith. So I'm going to be taking a naked quarterback here, and maybe I can stack later. And I will be taking Trevor Lawrence with that beautiful hair, throw into Christian Kirk, throw into Evan Ingram. And Christian Kirk is someone else who, he got overpaid. But now everyone is just like, I can't draft Christian Kirk because he was overpaid.
One spot.
This is just going well for everyone. I think that's the moral of the story.
Man, that is depressing. All right, I'll take Tannehill. Wide receiver.
I feel like every pick's a wide receiver at this point.
Feels like it, right?
Yeah.
I've got the perfect pick. I have the perfect pick here. Is it
going to be Osborne? You're going to keep
it? It is absolutely going to be KJ Osborne. Because much like Tyler Boyd as the wide receiver 3, it's going to be tough to start him consistently, but there's going to be those blow-up games. Jameson Williams to Steve. Whoo! You're not worried about the ACL?
Oh, I am. I feel like there's a very strong chance he doesn't play. But he's also my 7th wide receiver.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he hits, he hits. If he doesn't, I feel like the 6 guys ahead of him will be fine.
Well, I get KJ Osborne. I get all the Minnesota Vikings that matter in the passing game. What a time to be alive. Dave up next with the wide receivers. And Van Jefferson, for the record, he is undergoing a procedure on his knee. He is now in doubt for week 1. And everyone's talking about Tutu Atwell. Practice reports have not shown it's Tutu Atwell. The biggest beneficiary so far has been Ben Skowronek, which means Odell Beckham's coming back to LA.
Oh, he goes with the Paris.
Yeah, same thing. If I'm wrong on Pittman, then I'm just backing myself up here.
Yeah, you could have got Matt Ryan though for the double stack.
Yeah, well, yeah, there is a little regret there.
That's okay.
Because I had the option.
You still got Jameis and Chris Olave. All right. What was up next? Running back?
Yes, running back.
RB3, and there is a lot of young backs here that we're probably going to get sniped on, and it won't even matter.
Yeah.
Khalil Herbert is one that I'm surprised he's going this late because he's been getting some positive reviews out of camp. Same with Tyler Algier and James Robinson even. He's been getting rave reviews.
I can't believe James Robinson is still on the board right now.
Yeah, James Robinson needs to be going way higher with how he's been recovering from his Achilles tear.
We were talking about on our Jags show about Robinson coming back and Mike having the trepidation because coming back from the ACL, typically the following season they don't put up as good of numbers, and totally agree with that. And I would say even with a downside for James Robinson, he still, to me, is at least a top 40 running back, and he's going to get goal line work. He's still going to be involved in the offense. I was seeing the beat reporters talking about James Robinson may end up leading the team in carries, even though Etienne will lead the team in touches.
Yeah, there's a lot of love for James Robinson, and the moral of the story is you can't draft Snoop Connor. You can't draft Snoop Connor anymore.
Yeah,
he's done.
Could you before? I mean,
people were. I'm not saying I was, but people were drafting quite a bit of late round Snoop Connor because someone's got to do between the tackles work. Yeah, it's going to be James Robinson. Just watch him run. Watch him run.
I don't target often because it feels like such a question mark. You feel like there has to be improvement basically at every position, and yet at the same time,
by default, there has to be improvement, right?
Yeah, it just has to be better. It can't get worse.
Yeah, the
Especially
Urban
when
Meyer
you throw so much money at it.
The Urban Meyer mulligan for Trevor Lawrence. So running back up here for Dave, and there's still a couple guys left. Tyler Algier got taken, which is disappointing.
But... Yeah, you can talk through what you're thinking here, Dave, because we can't snipe you. You can only.
I mean, it's a pretty easy Herbert for me, as long as he keeps falling here, which I'm still amazed he's sitting there. I don't want to jinx it that he's going to go this pick before me, but like Montgomery
ruin my Bears
course, and when hands down, he's not making it past me. Like Montgomery is like a clear workhorse, and when he was gone, there was just great stuff out of Herbert, and I've tried to grab him where I could and keep getting sniped on him. I'm amazed.
Yeah, that's what was crazy. Is like he wasn't worked in much when Montgomery was healthy, but when Montgomery was out, he got run like a workhorse himself. So
yeah.
Well,
one pick ahead of you, Jack. Just missed.
Yeah.
He has to go.
Disappointing, but now I get the Ravens RB1 no matter what, thanks to Gus Edwards.
I don't know. They just signed Corey Clement, so
yeah, you didn't factor in hell freezing over. That's part of no matter what.
I mean, we lost 3 running backs in a row last season. I don't put anything past it.
It'll be Mike Davis, Tyler Beatty, Justice Hill, even Nate McCrary before the ghost of Corey.
I'll go with our guy Jamal.
Did he even play last year?
Clement?
Yeah.
He was on Dallas, but I think he was just a practice
running
squad
back,
guy.
Wide receiver.
I don't know if he was active.
I was gonna say, I feel like he's been out for at least a year or two.
Yeah, he's been a practice squad guy for a while now, and for good reason. This is an easy pick for me if he falls down here.
What am I looking at here?
Getting another stack like I predicted.
You know what? Put my money where my mouth is. I'll go Marlon Mack.
I thought your money where your mouth was going to be Jamison Crowder.
No, I'm good on wide receiver. It's running back I need on this team.
Yeah, I kind of feel like we're all in that same boat.
Well, I'm still going for Jamison Crowder and getting the stack with T-Law. Especially because now that Zay Jones is playing the X receiver role.
You got Marvin Jones.
Yeah. Marvin Jones is going to be playing the Z role, which means he's getting the free releases off the line of scrimmage while Zay Jones is getting the press coverage. So Marvin Jones is going to have a much easier time while Zay Jones is going to be blotted out as the wide receiver 1 for the Jaguars.
What do we have left? There's got to be a tight end, right?
There is a tight end left.
On the wheel?
Yeah,
a tight end, a flex, and a super flex. All the fun stuff is still left on the wheel.
All right. Fun. Lots of fun coming up here.
All right.
Like, I feel like I'm going to have a hard time figuring out where to go next.
Have we spun the wheel?
Okay.
I was confused for a second.
You're good. Catching up. I need to pick somewhere. All right, here we go.
Let me just go tight end, please.
Here it is.
Hey, all right.
Tight ends coming off the board. Oh, Evan Engram.
That's the only one that was a straight position, and I didn't have to make up my mind on something else.
That's fair.
I'm targeting Evan Engram for that double stack with Marvin Jones and Trevor Lawrence.
It's just stack city up here.
It is. You got to go for the stacks in best ball, even if it hurts you, even if it's to your own detriment. Probably not going to get him. Steve's going to be targeting his guy, Kyle Rudolph, here.
Oh, yeah, for sure. 100%.
The new
Rob Gronkowski. In what universe has Kyle Rudolph ever been my guy? In what sick hell has he been my guy?
The one where you called the Bucs were going to sign him months ago.
I did say they were going to sign somebody. I didn't necessarily say Kyle Rudolph, but I knew there was no way in hell they were going in with just Cameron Brate.
You said
all those people that paid for Cameron Brate at any price at all feel so bad.
They've been pulling for him for years, and it's never played out.
Yeah, Kyle Rudolph isn't going to have a role here. I still think Cameron Brate will have enough best ball weeks to matter, but it's not going to be pretty, and it's not going to be worth your time.
It's a tough one because they spread it around pretty well. There's still going to be some primary roles for, Godwin and Evans, but Brady still throws that around pretty much. We had some weird games from some weird people last year, and I think we'll see more of the same. He's probably going to have 1 week where he goes off for 2 touchdowns or something.
The random Rashad Perriman week that we saw.
Yeah. Just wouldn't surprise me at all if, Kyle Rudolph has 1 magical game this year. And everyone jumps on him on waivers and stuff, but still, I wouldn't chance it.
Then there will be the Cade Otton week, and everyone's going to be like, he's a new Gronk, and then he's not going to do anything again.
Yeah.
Hayden Hurst, love that pick. He's been getting rave reviews out of Cincinnati as well.
Yeah, that's what I said. Some of these later tight ends, you get
that was my other
Hurst
stack.
And Hooper and Higbee. All the H's there, and I think they're all in a really good
Austin
spot.
Hooper, and I just wanted the stack.
Hooper's advantage is that he's basically the only wide receiver coming back for Tannehill, the familiarity.
Austin Hooper was signed this year, wasn't he?
From a couple years ago, right?
No, he was with Cleveland last year.
Yeah. But Austin Hooper played with... No,
he's in Atlanta.
He was between Tannehill and Matt Ryan. They're interchangeable in my head.
Oh, Steve, I'm going to need you to...
I know, I got to see it over there.
And then, I don't like any of this. I'm going with Brevin Jordan because...
Taysom Hill is there. What's the problem?
Okay, Taysom Hill's hurt. And he's not a tight end. I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, is this where you stack up to 3 tight ends? Because because of what you're building with?
This will definitely be a 3 tight end draft.
Boy, I don't love any of this. This is all.
I don't think it gets any better either.
I would like Logan Thomas here, but he's hurt, and he shares a bye week with the tight end I already have.
Oh, I didn't even check that. Okay, I'm good.
Oh crap! I autoed. That's my
autoed
fault.
Zach Wilson. That's your super flex.
That's my super flex.
That put you at 3 QBs.
Yeah. I guess I'll take. Oh God, I hate all of this. I'm gonna take Jonnu just for my love of Jonnu Smith. There's no logic behind it.
He's been getting more looks in Patriots camp. They're running more 2 tight end sets under Matt Patricia.
Regular flex. Anything but a QB.
This one is easy. I need one more.
Anyone see potential there for Zoma and with the Jets?
Yes, absolutely. I drafted him in Scott Fishbowl.
Yeah, if Zach Wilson doesn't play, then yeah, it's great. It's the same thing with any potential.
Who's even their backup QB? I don't even know.
Does it matter? Did it matter last year?
Dave, how could you not know Joe Flacco is with the Jets? Come on.
The man, the myth, the legend.
I took Jerick McKinnon because he balled out in the playoffs for Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes trusts him, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire stinks.
Yeah, this is not good.
Chris Evans off the board. Pushing for that 3rd down back roll from Samaje Perine.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's kind of like Herbert too. Like he showed up for one game when he had an opportunity, right, last year. So maybe there's opportunity again.
And Coach Zach Taylor today was saying that, yes, it is Samaje Perine's job, but Chris Evans could make a run for it. He could push in for that competition. And athletically, there's no contest. Chris Evans is infinitely better as an athlete than Samaje Perine.
With how iffy the running backs are.
I will spin the wheel. So it's super flex. So you guys can take whatever you want. I can't take a quarterback.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like with how bad the running backs were, because we got so slammed on wide receiver, I kind of feel like you got to go for those long shot guys at running back to hope they, have a monster game here to make up for the weakness of the position.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. I got Kamara, J.K. Dobbins, and Miles Sanders. I got my 3 running backs. They're set. We're great.
Yeah, I guess you feel more confident about yours than I do mine.
This is not like the other. One of these things is bad.
Kenneth Gainwell, season Steve.
Always and forever. Until Boston Scott comes in. Then it's Boston Scott season.
Oh,
it's
big
anyone
news.
But Miles Sanders season.
Big news out of Texas. The Houston Texans worked out Chester Rogers today.
Great.
Wah, wah.
I mean, I think there's a lot of opportunity there for Mills to be a useful grab, but him and Cooks, and that's about where I draw the line.
Hey, how dare you slander my tight end, Brevin Jordan?
Yeah, not touching him. So even that running game, like I wouldn't even know where to start with that running game.
Marlon Mack, Damian Pierce.
Yeah, but who's gonna get it?
Rex Burkhead.
Can you tell me? Yeah, exactly. I don't want to touch it because I just don't know. Like I don't trust Marlon Mack to be healthy enough to be a difference maker, and I'm gonna play Cooks and go for Mills if I can, and that's it.
I'm not worried about the health of Marlon Mack. That's not the reason I don't think he can be a difference maker. It's because it's Marlon Mack, and he's never been a difference maker. Ouch. He was okay for a little bit.
I disagree. He had one dream season.
Yeah, he was a top 20 running back 3 years ago.
Yeah. So he got
hurt, and then Jonathan Taylor existed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the potential's there. Maybe, he finally gets the opportunity back and he goes back to being what he was. But Like,
I guess what I
mean
mean
gets the ball.
Is he's never been a pass catcher. So he's never been a difference maker where he can get to that next level as a running back.
He's never going to be a 3-down back. Yeah.
No. Unless he somehow, when he had his Achilles repaired, they attached another tendon to his fingers to make him catch better.
Just in case he needed a spare.
I don't think it works that way.
Are you a doctor?
Like
Dave?
when you buy a new dress shirt, it's got the extra button
guess.
sewn on the inside.
Yes.
They just put an extra tendon on the inside of his hand just in case he needs it later.
I don't even know what to... This was like literally everything, right?
Yes.
This is
anything you want.
Right? Yeah.
Dealer's choice.
Anything you want for the final pick.
Son of a whore. That's what I wanted.
Kenyon Drake?
Kenyon Drake is the running back I want on the Raiders.
Interesting.
Dirt cheap, and he's going to play just as many snaps as the other two.
He's going to play. He might play some more than Zamir White.
He should play more than Zamir White. He's the pass catching back. Like, Jacobs has been given the opportunity to be the pass catching back, just hasn't been good at it.
Yeah, they straight up said that Drake is going to get a lot of shots. I mean, that Jacobs wasn't going to be a primary runner there.
Yeah. And they tipped their hand by not extending him and basically saying, prove it or get lost.
I don't like any of this. Yeah. I'm going to go with old reliable.
What is that at this point?
I don't know about reliable, but old gets touches.
At this point?
Old gets touches. Sony Michel.
On what team is he going to get touches?
Whatever team he plays for. I do think he makes the Dolphins. I think that.
I think he makes the team.
Ultimately, it is going to be.
I mean, how many running backs are they going to carry?
3. They're going to cut Myles Gaskin because he's the easiest
I would have said
configuration.
Mostert.
No, it sounds like they're happy with
love Raheem Mostert.
They're going to keep.
He's going to be healthy.
Never is, but they love him anyway.
Exactly. He's not going to stay.
I'm confident because we're going to have. I'm confident that the backfield is going to be Chase Edmonds as the 1, Sony Michel is the grinder, and Raheem Mostert is the change of pace speed back. Gaskin gets cut or traded. It's maybe sent to the Atlanta Falcons. They could sure use him.
When we're in week 10 and Kareem Hunt is nursing a hamstring injury and Nick Chubb has a concussion, my Dearness Johnson pick is going to be great. Just throwing that out there.
For sure.
I believe I am the lowest projected team sitting here.
Let's find out.
That's according to Underdog, at least.
There you go.
Great.
According to us too, Dave.
Oh, great.
And your week 14,
consensus across the board.
Your week 14 is
just
terrible.
Just wait. Yeah.
He'll show us.
Just wait. You'll see.
Biggest steal, Jameis Winston. Biggest reach, Paris Campbell. I'm okay reaching on Paris Campbell.
Can you see that all right? Does it look good?
Yeah.
How does that look? How about that? Is that looking good for you? Go through your team there, Dave. What do you love? What do you hate?
There is not much to say. I really love the wide receivers, but like, how is it? It's hard to not hate them when we had like 6 straight rounds of wide receivers, right? I mean, I don't hate the top of my running backs. You get some guys in there that might later on have some impact. And then, you get some stacks going. If I had gotten Carr, I feel like I would have felt so much better about this in the end.
Right. Like my team on paper, horrible, but just because I stacked everything, I feel great about it.
Like if I just got that one, I was running with the, get your guys and follow those storylines. It started so great and it just went downhill super fast, and I ended up super not happy with kind of the back end of this draft. But what can I say? They're not all winners.
Jack?
All right. So my biggest steal, Kirk Cousins. My biggest reach, KJ Osborne, which is totally fine. Because what's wrong with stacking the top 4 options in the Minnesota passing game. That's right. Kirk Cousins paired with wide receiver 1, Justin Jefferson, paired with TD machine Adam Thielen, paired with big play threat KJ Osborne, paired with Irv Smith, who did hurt himself today, but it's fine. We're going to ignore that.
Kirk Cousins' ADP is 56. Feels high.
That does.
Told you. I did a draft this past weekend where he went before Lance, he went before Dak, like Carr, all of these guys. He went super high. It was pretty crazy.
That's insanity.
The Kirk Cousins MVP hype.
What do we got? What was ADP on Underdogs? 115.
Yeah, that's probably a little more reasonable.
Interesting.
And rounding out
maybe
my
it's
running
because
backs.
Statbook is all redraft.
It is, yeah.
So that could be it. Zach Wilson was a steal. Disagree. That was a disappointment, is what it was.
Jonnu Smith was a reach. Also disagree.
Also disagree. Always. Not with those abs. Could never be a reach. Look, I mean, I got Uncle Len. I got David Montgomery. Feel good about that. Upside on Pollard. I've got Jamal Williams and Dearness Johnson in case things go sideways. I've got Marlon Mack, as my co-host Neil would say. That's the khaki pants of my team. It doesn't look flashy. It's just comfortable. I got Cooper Kupp, T. Higgins, Darnell Mooney. I feel pretty solid about this team. But what I love the most, Fields, Montgomery, Mooney, Kmet. I completed the set. I got the Thanos of the Chicago Bears, and I'm okay with that. And you know what?
Yeah.
You can take this and do the exact same thing whenever you want. Because so far, the 32 for 32s, we're through Dallas at this point on the YouTube channel. And I want to say that the Bears episode specifically has maybe like a 10th of the viewership of all the other teams. No one cares about the Bears offense. Nobody's interested at all. So if you want Bears, they're all yours in any draft. Go get them.
Because the Bears are back, baby.
Do you know what cease and desist means? I don't think you understand.
No, I do not understand.
Yeah. Destroyed. All right, well, thanks.
They're free of Nagy. Who knows?
Appreciate it. This was fun.
Yeah.
Dave,
thanks for having me on, guys.
Joining. Always a pleasure getting to talk to the head
of the
Fantasy Statbook.
For us, promo code nonsense down there on Underdog. Sign up, deposit match, but more importantly on our end, Important Nonsense, or patreon.com/important nonsense. Join the Patreon. Come hang out, talk in the Discord with everybody, including Dave. If you get the MVP tier, you get access to this beautiful stat book that we've been showing you this whole episode with all of my projections in it. We've got our rankings on the website, and you can track your whole draft as easily as I did. I was having the conversation, I was manning the wheel, and I was inputting. It's that easy. It's that user-friendly and seamless, people. You can handle it, believe me. And our patrons get 2 days early access to all the 32 and 32 videos I've been talking about. So if you want any of that, go sign up. We'd appreciate it.
We would. And while you're signing up, we would also appreciate if you check out shop.importantnonsense.com. You can get...
There you go. Get these pants.
You can get these pants. You can wear us around, us as in importantnonsense.com. You can get
that fancy glass. Oh, it's so nice. I was just drinking out of that the other day. When we were going through the Jags episode, I had to have a full glass just to make it through. Oh, there's Jack's face. We all have Jack's face.
You can wear
my favorite.
Like a shirt.
It's my favorite.
Yep. The mug, the classic Jack hoodie. I mean, all of it. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Go check it out. Shop.importantnonsense.com.
And one final note, check out importantnonsense.com. Just the regular old website. We don't plug
Dave, do you have any pluggables?
No, man. Statbook is where it's at. That's where I'm spending all my time.
All right. Well, we appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it too.
We definitely are. It made my Scott Fishbowl draft so much better.
It makes my life in general much better when we're doing these fantasy things. So appreciate it.
Excellent. Love to hear it.
So for everyone out there, thank you for tuning into Jack Knows Best, and we will see you next time.